Hi, my name is Beth Booker. I'm the supervisor at Greene County Foster Care, and I'm here today with Lisa Sutherland. Lisa is a supervisor at Works Youthcare here in Greene County. Lisa has an amazing staff who works with our families in their homes, and that service is so important to CYS because when we take children into foster care, our main goal is to reunify those children with their parents, and sometimes that takes some help. So we call to Justice Works and make a referral to them to go and work with the parents in their home. But they will also work with the foster children, and they will go into the foster parents' home to work with the kids and essentially build that relationship with the children and also the foster parents. So we wanted to put the word out there that there are a lot of supports that these foster kids have other than just CYS. We've done videos with Tammy at Loved Again Charities. We have Aaron at CASA, but we also have Justice Works, who's right here in Waynesburg, and will go anywhere we ask them to help out our foster kids. So Lisa, could you tell me a little bit more about what exactly Justice Works does in the homes with the children, and essentially what they may do with our foster parents as well, so our foster parents kind of know what to expect if they have a Justice Works worker coming in their home?
Sure. We can work with the kids and the foster parents. We can even be referred into the foster families' homes to help the foster parents specifically with services. Right. So if the foster parents are struggling with resources, we can even help link them to resources. But we can help link the foster kids or the foster parents or biological parents to resources in the community, food banks, shelters, help with getting them enrolled in education, so help with linking them with the school systems, help with getting them to mental health counseling or getting them enrolled in mental health counseling, seeing that they're following through with their mental health counseling. We can, help them get linked with their mental health counseling, with their drug and alcohol counseling, with medical care, dentist care. We can help with food bank referrals, housekeeping, anything that the family may need in order to, keep the children in the home. We also can help with the transition back into the natural parent's home. So if the child is going from the foster home back in, since reunification is the goal, back into the parent's home, we can help with that reunification process. So the child may be spending 4 days a week in the foster family's home and then going back 3 days a week into the natural parent's home. We can help with that transition process from going from one to the other, and helping that, make sure that that goes smoothly and help with the transition back and forth. We also now have our visit coaching and our supervised visit program where we'll have a lot of interaction with the foster parents and the children both, working and seeing that the parents are able to provide structured visits for their children and are interacting with their children appropriately during the visits and doing all of the things that the children need and being supportive of them during their visit time with their parents.
And Lisa, I've seen firsthand, I know that when children are visiting with their parents, especially when they're younger ones, it's confusing because they're spending all their time with their foster parents and then they go and see mom and dad and then they have to go back to foster parents, and sometimes that's a little confusing for them, and we'll see some behaviors start to come out. And I have seen and have taken calls when I'm on call 1, 2 in the morning from Justice Works that, hey, we got a call that this family needs some help, this child's acting out, the foster parents need some help, and they're in the car at 1 to 2 in the morning and going to that family. So it's an amazing support for the kids and for our foster families. And I know that there's a lot of times when we have the teenagers, they feel like they have somebody on their side, and that's also a great help.
Yeah, and we try to form a relationship. Our staff work really hard at forming a relationship with the kids, whether they're toddlers, whether they're adolescents, whether they're school-age teenagers, whatever that age range is, they work hard to form a relationship with those kids and a bond. With the teenagers, maybe more support in the emotional aspects and understanding what it's like to be a teenager. I think we all forget, I myself am a mom of teenagers at home. We all forget those crazy stages that we go through as a teenager and, trying to relate to them and where they're at that time. And being in a foster home as a teenager has to be very difficult. So, our staff works hard at relating to them and trying to understand that, they're in a different home, they're in a different school. while they're trying to discover their own identity of who they want to be when they grow up. So giving them that extra support that they need, and with the young ones, understanding that they're scared. They're away from their mom and dad, they're away from that support system. And, even it's rough for them at no matter what age. So meeting those kids where they're at, no matter what age they are, and being that support system that they need, helping support the biological parents as well as the foster parents so that those kids are getting all the care that they need while they're, going through these transitions.
So what does it look like? Like, how often are the workers going in working with the foster children, or going into the homes, in the foster parents' home to meet with them?
So for each case, it looks totally different. For some families, we are strictly working with parents. For other, homes, depending on the referrals that come from you guys and what are identified as the needs, it can be different in each case. For some homes, we can be in there as little as 2 hours a week. Some homes we've been in there, and there's some homes we've been asked to be in there 20 hours a week, or 7 days a week, 3 hours a day. It's all based on the need of each individual family. So whatever you guys, call us and say, hey, this is what's going on. We look at each case and each child, it's individually, just like when you go to the doctor. They can't treat every patient the same. So everyone has to be looked at, individually, and come up with a treatment plan. And while one person may take 1 hour a week, another one may take 10 hours a week to get that level of care and healing that they need.
Right. So I know you have a good staff who's with you here now, but I know your organization, much like a lot of organizations that work in anything with child welfare, are in need of more workers. It's a tough field to be in. It takes a lot of heart, a lot of sweat, sometimes a lot of tears, and it takes a special somebody. So what are the requirements that Justice Works looks for in anybody who would be interested in becoming employed by them?
We're always looking. We have various positions. So anywhere, some of our positions are high school diploma, depending on what it is. Our FRSs, the girls that you were talking about that go in and work with those foster kids, those are bachelor's level positions. And they can find out for each specific position by looking at Justice Works Youthcare on the internet, by searching the company and looking at open and available positions online through the Justice Works Youthcare site.
Okay, and I know you guys, it's not just in Greene County. Where else does Justice Works have office? Where do they serve?
So Justice Works Youthcare was founded in 1999 by our CEO, Dan Height. And even though our regional office is here in the Pittsburgh area, he actually started with one county out east. And from that one county, we have continued to grow. When I started with Justice Works, which was about 9 years ago, we were in, I believe, right around 40 some counties when I started. And he just keeps continuing to expand. And now we're in 50 counties. It may be a little bit more than 50, so if I'm wrong on that, I'm sorry. But we've also moved into other states, and we're statewide in South Carolina. I know our mission is to become statewide in Pennsylvania, but his mission is whatever it takes, and that's our mission statement. And that's one of the things that we do, is whatever it takes. We really live by that mission, and like you said, we will drive, and our staff down here, I think, does a wonderful job at this. They will drive to a home in the middle of the night and go check on a kid because a kid has called and said, I'm having a rough time. And my staff has called me and said, hey, I really was out at 2 a.m. when you see my thing. My teenager called and they were having a rough night, and the foster parents called me, and so I just went ahead and went to the house. So I like when I get those calls from my staff and from caseworkers that say, hey, your staff came out last night and assisted us because, our kid was having a rough time. I think that's always a good thing and to see, and the caring and compassion that they put into it.
And it's been an amazing transition, because in Greene County we didn't have many in-home services to work with our families. And it wasn't until 2018 that we got a contract with you guys. So it's been great to have somebody to call and say, hey, a lot of times we try to use you as a proactive approach to a family. We know maybe some things are going on that it could possibly lead to us taking custody of children. We'll put you in there more intensively to try to stop that. But sometimes that is inevitable, so then we use you on a flip side to help get them reunified and So it's been great, and we're so appreciative over at CYS to have such a great working relationship with you guys.
Thank you.
So Lisa, we've talked about a lot of ways that your organization supports our community. What are some ways that our community could support your organization?
Definitely by giving back to some of the charities that we go to for help. So like Loved Again, the local food shelters, so that when our families are in need, those are the places that we go to for assistance when our families need things. So by giving back to those local charities, so that when we take our families to the food bank or to look for clothing or toys when they're in need, that those items are available.
So Lisa, I know that you have a huge heart for all the kids here in Greene County. What do you love most about your job? What does being the supervisor at Justice Works mean to you?
It means a lot to me. I love all of my staff. They are just a wonderful group. I have a wonderful group that works for me. But I've been doing this off and on for 20 years now. And I'm giving away my age, that's really bad. But it's seeing the kids smile, it's seeing the kids happy, seeing families that can be reunited, and it's just a sense of feeling that I've done something good. I know we can't help every child, but if we can help one, then that's truly all that really matters.
So Lisa, when your staff is working with these children and they do work towards a successful reunification, I know that can sometimes be the foster parents, they understand what the goal is, and a lot of times they're happy to see that the parents have made the progress that the kids can go home. But there's a part of them that's a little nervous, and they worry about these kids because they've been in their home, they've loved them, they put a lot of time and energy and devotion into helping these children get through this traumatic time. Your organization, do they stay and continue to work with the kids once they've been reunified?
Yes, many times we're in the home for quite a while after they've been reunified. Because we want to see that the parents are able to continue to maintain those skills. So, once the child goes home, there's generally a period of time to see that the parents are able to maintain and continue that success. So we don't just close the door and say, you're back home, we're done, all the goals are met. We want to see that they're able to, make sure that that kid is still going to school and they're maintaining those grades, and that the family is still attending mental health or whatever type of counseling. They're still attending drug and alcohol, and all of those services remain in place so that that family can be successful.
And I think that's great, because I think that'll help bring some peace of mind to some foster parents who are, having this little bit of leery thoughts and worriedness, to know that they still have that support, and they will have seen firsthand the relationship that the children have made with the Justice Works Youth Care worker, and know that they still have that person on their side in the home.
Absolutely.
Well, Lisa, I thank you so much for taking the time to meet with me today and get the word out there into Greene County as to what your organization does for our kids. If anybody ever has any questions about anything with Justice Works, how would they be able to get a hold of you?
They could always reach me at 724-579-2851, or they could stop in here at our office, which is at 95 East High Street, and we are in Suite 100.
Great, thank you so much.
Thank you.
You're welcome.